all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect. So in this video we're going to understand how to create lofty leads from Instagram lead ads. So do you also use Instagram lead ads to promote and grow your business? Then this video is definitely for you. So over here I'm doing the same. I run a real estate agency and for that we use Instagram lead ads to promote our business. So now what I want is that as soon as a new lead is received from my Instagram lead ads, I automatically want to add that same lead details into my lofty so that we can nurture that leads. So to do this, we're going to create a connection between Instagram lead ads and lofty. To create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So do you also wish to learn this process step by step? Then let me take you to my computer screen. Welcome to my screen, everyone. So as you know, in this video we're going to understand how to create lofty leads from Instagram lead ads. So as you know that I manage marketing for a real estate agency and we use Instagram lead ads to generate inquiries from potential clients interested in our properties. So to make sure that no lead slips through the crack, I want to set up an automation that automatically creates a new lead in Lofty Lead CRM as soon as we receive a new lead from Instagram lead ads. So as you know that Lofty Leads is specifically designed for real estate professionals, which streamlines lead organization, tracking and nurturing, helping agents to connect with the prospects effectively. Whereas Instagram lead ads allows businesses to capture the potential client information directly through Instagram, simplifying the lead generation process. But as you know that Instagram and Lofty doesn't have any native connection. So in order to connect both of this, we are going to use Pabbly Connect, and in order to do this, I've already open the landing page of Pabbly simply by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. I've also opened my Facebook page. As you can see that this is the Facebook page of my real estate agency, and I've connected this Facebook page with my Instagram account. And now using this Facebook page and Instagram account, I'm running Instagram lead ads to generate more leads for my business. So yes, now in order to create a connection between Instagram lead ads and Lofty leads, I've already opened the landing page of Pabbly as I told you. And as soon as I'm going to open the landing page of Pabbly, we're going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you're a new user, you can click on sign up for free and you're going to get 100 of hours free every month. But I'm an existing user, so I'm going to click on sign in right over here. And as soon as I'm going to click on sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps. Over here, you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we're going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications, right? Which is Instagram lead ads and Lofty leads. So I'm going to click on access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connects account. And as soon as I'm going to click on access now, it is opening my dashboard. And over here to start with our automation, we have to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here you can see that on my dashboard I've created multiple folders in which I can save my workflows. So over here I'm going to select one folder from this only, which is automations. And if you wish to learn how to create a new folder or a subfolder, you can click on this hyperlink given right over here which says learn more. And now it is asking me for the workflow name. So I want the workflow name to be how to create lofty leads from Instagram lead ads lead. Instagrams to lofty. And then we're going to click on create. And as soon as I'm going to click on create, it is opening the most important window for automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the trigger is the commander for the workflow and actions follow the commands. And as you know that we can have only a single commander but multiple followers. So here we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger. And by this you can finally understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by our trigger. And in order to start with our automation, we have to select our trigger application. So for my trigger application, I'm going to select it as Instagram lead ads. So I'm going to look for Instagram lead ads right over here. And as you can see the same, so we're going to select it. And as I was going to select the trigger application as Instagram lead ads, it is going to ask me for the trigger event. So basically trigger event is the event on which the workflow will start. So over here what I want is that as soon as a new lead is received, my workflow should be instantly triggered. So I'm going to select the same right over here. And as I was going to select the trigger event, we're going to click on this button which says connect. And after clicking on this button, it is asking me to add a new connection or select the existing connection. So if you have already connected your Instagram lead ads account with your Pabbly's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me. Click on add a new connection, and then we have to click on this button which says connect with Instagram lead ads. So I'm going to click on this button right over here, and as soon as I'm going to click on this button, it is asking me to select my Facebook account. So you must be wondering, why is it asking me to select the Facebook account? So because I have connected my Facebook account with my Instagram account, and using this Facebook account only, I'm using Instagram lead ads. Okay, so that's why it is asking me to select the Facebook account. So I'm going to select it and click on continue right over here, and again we're going to click on continue as Jessie right over here, and as soon as going to click on continue right over here, and yes, you can see that we have successfully connected our Instagram lead ads account with our Pabbly's workflow. Over here you can see connected, and now it is asking me to select the page and the lead gen form. So here you can see the name of my page is Prime Properties, right? So we're going to select the same right over here to in the page, which is Prime Properties. And now after selecting my page, it is going to ask me for the lead gen form. So over here you can see all the lead gen forms which I've already created. So I'm going to select one from this only, which is lead form new. So if you want to create this automation for all your lead gen forms, you can select all lead gen forms or any one of the desired form. So I'm going to select my desired form, and then we're going to click on save and send test request. And as soon as I'm going to click on save and send test request, it is saying waiting for a webhook response. And now in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this webhook response, we have to do a test submission or record. So you must be wondering, what is this test submission? So I'll just let you know that what we have to do is we have to create a dummy lead or a test lead so that we can capture the details for the same right over here, and further we can add the details into the lofty leads. So in order to generate that dummy lead, we are going to open a new tab, and we're going to look for Meta for developers right over here. So I'm going to look for Meta for developers, and then we're going to open Meta for developers. And as soon as we're going to open the landing page of Meta for developers, we have to go on resources and then developer tools. And as soon as we're going to come over here, we're going to look for lead ads RTO debug tool, and as you can select the same over here. And after selecting it, it is opening my lead ads testing tool. And now from here we are going to select the same page and the form which we selected in our workflow. So for the page, I'm going to select it as Prime Properties, right? And then for the form, we are going to select it as lead form new, and then we're going to click on preview form. And as you can see that this is my form. So over here what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in this form with the demo details. So it is saying type of the property you are interested in. So over here, let's suppose that I'm going to select it as a rental property. It is saying first name, so I'm going to keep it as demo right over here. It is saying last name, so I'm going to keep it as user right over here. We are going to move on forward. It is saying email, so I'm going to enter the email of my lead. Let's suppose demo@pabblytunes.com. So over here, after entering this, we're going to move on forward. It is asking me for the mobile number. So over here, I'm going to enter a dummy phone number, which is this. We're going to move on forward. It is saying street address, so I'm going to keep it as new. We are going to move on forward. For the city, I'm going to keep it as Bhopal right over here, and then it is asking me for the state. So for the state, I'm going to keep it as Madhya Pradesh, so I'm going to enter it right over here. And now it is asking me for the zip code, so let's suppose that we're going to keep it as this. And after entering all of these details, we're going to click on continue right over here and then submit. And as soon as we're going to click on this, yes, you can see thanks, you're all set. So it is saying your test lead has been sent. So yes, with this we have successfully did the test submission, and now what has happened is that lead ads testing tool has sent the details of our test submission to our workflow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my workflow and check that if Pabbly has captured the response for the same or not. So I'm going to open my workflow, and yes, you can see that Pabbly has captured a response right over here. Over here you can see same details which we entered. You can see the first name, or you can see the last name, the email. Over here you can see type of property you are interested in. Over here you can see the phone number, the street address, the city, state, zip code. So yes, you can see all the details which we entered in our test submission, right? So as soon as we're going to get all of these details, with this we have successfully completed our trigger step. And now what will happen is that as soon as a new lead is received from my Instagram lead ads, Pabbly is instantly going to capture the response for the same right over here. And as soon as we're going to capture the response, what I want is I want to create a lead in Lofty Leads for the same details. So I'm going to move on towards my action step, and now for my action application, we are going to select it as Lofty. So as you can see the same, so we're going to select it. And now for the action event, we're going to select it as create lead, and then we're going to click on connect. And as soon as I'm going to click on connect, it is asking me to add a new connection or select the existing connection once again. So if you have already connected your Lofty account with the Pabbly's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me. Click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the API key. And to get this API key, we're going to follow this help text, and it is saying log into your Lofty account, go to the settings, and then visit the integrations required. Scroll down at the end and you will get the API key section. So we're going to follow the same. I'm going to open my Lofty account, and now from here we have to go on settings. And as soon as we're going to come over here on setting, from the left side of of the bar, you can see integrations. We have to go on this integrations, and after coming on this integrations, we have to scroll down right over here towards the end. And as you can see over here is my API key. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this API key right from here, and then we're going to paste it right over here in our workflow. And after pasting this API key, we're going to click on this button which says save. And as soon as we're going to click on save right over here, yes, you can see that we have successfully connected our Lofty account with our Pabbly's workflow. And now it is asking me for the details like the first name, the last name, email ID, phone number of my lead. So yes, I'm going to enter all of these details of my lead right over here, but we are not going to enter it manually, but instead we're going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping, right? So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Instagram lead ads as our trigger application. So we're going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only. And as soon as we're going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So over here I'm going to give you an example. So it is asking me for the first name, right? So let's suppose we're going to enter the first name right over here manually by typing it like this. Then this will not change with every new response received because this is a static information and I have entered it manually. But if you're going to map this from the previous response, over here you can see the first name. So let's suppose we're going to map this from the previous response, then this will definitely change because my previous response will also change. So that's why we do mapping right over here to run our workflow in real time. And now going to map the last name too. I'm going to look for last name, and as you can see users, we're going to map it. We're going to map the email ID too. I'm going to look for email in the previous response, and as you can see the same, so we're going to map it. We are going to move on forward. We are going to map the phone number. I'm going to look for phone in the previous response, and as you can see the same, so we're going to map it. We're going to move on forward. It is asking for the birthday date. So here you can see that this is not the required field, so I'm going to leave it as blank. It is saying street address. So yes, we have that. I'm going to look for it, and as you can see the street address which is new, so we're going to map it. We're going to move on forward. It is saying lead type. I'm going to keep it as buyer right over here. We're going to move on forward. It is saying source, so I'm not going to enter it. It is saying state, segment, and many another details. So we're only going to fill in the details which are required or the details which I want to enter right over here. So it is saying city name. So yes, I have the city name of my lead, so I'm going to enter it, which is Bhopal. We're going to move on forward for the state name. I'm going to enter it as Madhya Pradesh. As you can see the same, so we're going to map it. So as you can see that I've mapped all the details which I had of my leads, and now it is asking for many another details. So if you wish, you can definitely map all of these details if you have these details of your lead, but I don't have these details, so I'm going to leave it as blank. If you want, you can definitely fill these out too. So now after filling in all the details which were required or the details which I want to enter, I'm going to click on this button which says save and send test request. And as soon as we're going to click on save and send test request, yes, you can see lead ID. So yes, with this we have successfully received a positive response that we have successfully created a new lead in our Lofty leads, and we have also received the lead ID right over here as our response. So as soon as we're going to receive this, with this we have successfully completed our workflow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my Lofty and check for the new lead created. So I'm going to open my Lofty right over here, and we're going to refresh this page which says people. Okay, so I'm going to refresh this page and check for the new lead created, and yes, you can see a new lead created which is demo user. Over here you can see buyer, and over here you can see the same email and the phone number which we entered. So yes, with this we have successfully created a new lead with the same details received from our Instagram lead ads. So yes, with this we have successfully completed this workflow, but I'll just test this workflow once, and this time I'm going to give you a real-time example. So what we're going to do is I'm going to open my lead ads testing tool again. We're going to delete the previous lead and refresh the page right over here so that we can create a new lead. So it is really important to delete the previous lead and refresh the page, otherwise you'll not be able to create a new lead or preview a new form. Again, we're going to select the same page right over here which is prime properties. Okay, I'm going to look for it, and as you can see the same, we're going to select the form and click on preview form to create a new lead. We are again going to enter the details. So it is saying type of property you are interested in, so I'm going to keep it as residential property. For the first name I'm going to keep it as Chess, last name as user right over here. It is saying email, so I'm going to keep it as user@pabblytunes.com. So I'm going to enter it right over here, and then we're going to move on forward. It is asking for the phone number, so I'm going to enter the phone number as this. It is saying street address, so I'm going to keep it as old. It is saying city, so I'm going to keep it as Indore right over here. We're going to move on forward for the state. Again, we're going to keep it as Madhya Pradesh only. So I'm going to enter it. We are going to move on forward right over here. It is asking me for the zip code, right? So now for the zip code, what you're going to do is we're going to select the country right over here, which is India, and then for the zip code, I'm going to keep it as this. And now after entering the zip code, we're going to move on forward and click on continue. And as soon as we're going to click on continue, we're going to click on submit right over here. And as soon as we're going to click on submit, yes, you can see your test lead has been sent. So yes, with this we have successfully sent a a new test lead to our workflow, right? And with this, we have successfully did this test submission. And now what has happened is that lead ads testing tool has sent the details of our test submission to our workflow. Pabbly captured the response, triggered the workflow, and further created a new Lofty lead. So I'm going to open my Lofty account and check for the new lead created. And this time we are not going back to our workflow to click on save and send test request button. Instead, this time we are directly going to open our Lofty account and we're going to refresh this people's page, which is the all leads. Okay, so I'm going to refresh this and check for the new lead created. And yes, you can see a new lead created. You can see name, test user. Over here you can see the email which we entered, the phone number which we entered. So yes, with this we have successfully created a new lead in our Lofty, and with this we have successfully completed our workflow and also tested this workflow once. So yes, with this I'll just summarize this workflow for you once. So for the trigger application, we selected Instagram lead ads. For the trigger event, we selected new lead instant. And then for the action application, I selected Lofty, and then for the action event, we selected create a lead, because I wanted that as soon as a new lead is received from my Instagram lead ads, automatically the details of that lead should be added in my Lofty too, to make sure that no lead slips through the crack. I want to set up this automation. This keeps my team organized and allows us to follow up with the potential buyers quickly, giving us an edge in turning inquiries into property viewing and then sales. This integration enables our team to stay responsive and ensure that every Instagram lead is captured effectively, enhancing our customer engagement and conversion rates. And yes, we were successful with our workflow too. Over here you can see the 2 leads I created during this video with the help of my workflow. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow. And now this was it for the video. And if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching. So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can integrate many more applications. So if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.